scary, and some hikers had to be rescued here?
Yes, this is serious business. They asked me to make the wardrobe change.
Yeah, glad you did.
No one's going to accuse me of being anti-fall in this report. But this is a tricky balance because we know that the Northeast does love tourism this time of year in general, but social media has taken this to a different level, and our affiliate WMUR in New Hampshire reports that some trails have been overrun by tourists, many of which are not prepared for the conditions.
This morning, fall foliage has blanketed northern New Hampshire, and major crowds of tourists have too.
Once we got to the top where it was like kind of bottlenecking, and people were just shoving their way through. It was completely unsafe.
Tamara Bro says the Artist Bluff Trail is typically an easy hike, but this season it's been swarmed by so many people it became dangerous.
I couldn't help but think, but like somebody's gonna have to get rescued.
In fact, the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department reported several rescues over the weekend, including 7 Saturday night alone, as according to officials, hikers were caught in a drainage area near a brook without lights.
I had lost trail and were basically stuck in a drainage in a brook with no lights, no water, and extremely cold.
And thousands heading up to the mountains expecting fall foliage are not realizing up there it feels like winter with wind chills in the single digits.
People just aren't bringing headlights, they're not bringing water, and they're just not prepared for the cold weather and what they're encountering out in the mountains right now.
We saw people wearing slippers, sandals, people wearing short shorts.
Many of these towns do rely on tourism, but state officials say they can't man every trail. Still, locals want more to be done to manage the crowds.
It's just sad. And like there was trash along the side of the road, along the path and everything. It was terrible.
And a lot of these tourists are drawn in because of social media posts of fall foliage that seem too good to be true because it is. Some of these pictures are heavily edited or even outright AI generated, entirely fake. The region is still beautiful. It's just up in Vermont, but you got to double check where you're going before you show up for a photo shoot.
And pack your jacket.
Yes,
obviously.
these studio lights are so warm with this jacket on.
But you look good, so it's worth it.
You look the part.
Thank you, Trevor. Next up, our play